Hello, and welcome to another episode of Walt Disney's Legacy Collection. Today's episode is about Pocahontas and Pocahontas 2, Journey to a New World. But first, we'll start with original Pocahontas. This movie was released to theaters and had its premiere at Central Park in New York on June 23rd, 1995. Then in 1996, this film got released to video cassette as a part of the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. But there were earlier copies of this film, of this video cassette, that had the 1989 Walt Disney Classics logo. I'm sure that might have been a misprint of that, especially since the Walt Disney Classics has never been in the lineup since 1994, when the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection took its place. But then later prints had the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo that we see in those video cassettes. I mean, it's not like when some of the earlier Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection videos had the for starters, most of the early Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection videos cassettes did never have the 1989 Walt Disney Classics logo. No, instead it was the 1986 Walt Disney Home Video logo instead. Then the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo came in later. Oh, yeah, that's one trivia fact about the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. But getting back to this film, let's take a look at this one. There you go. See that? Back. All right. Then, of course, this film was re-released to video cassette again, but this time it came out for the first time on DVD as a part of the Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection. And this film also won 2 Academy Awards, one for Best Original Musical or Comedy Score, and for Best Original Song, Colors of the Wind, which, as you know, has been written by Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz, who would both went on to compose for The Hunchback of Notre Dame a year later, and then in 2007, Enchanted. But in 2005, there's been a 2-disc special edition of Pocahontas, and on that special edition, there is an added sequence there called "If I Never Knew You." Now that had been played as instrumental in the original theatrical edition, and then sung at the end credits. But in the special edition, it is instead sung in this movie. Even one brief reprise of this before the end of this film and before the credits. So, how about a look at this one too? There you go. See that? Now, this film led on to a sequel called Pocahontas Journey to a New World. That premiered on video cassette on August 25th, 1998. Then it was re-released to video cassette in 2000 as a part of the Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection, and it was released to DVD the first time too. Then in 2012, both of those films came as a 2-movie collection. And actually, before we get into that one, let's take a look at this one. This is the original 1998 videocassette. Alright, and now here's the DVD Blu-ray combo pack of Pocahontas and Pocahontas 2. As this was released in 2012, just 2 years after Pocahontas' 15th anniversary back in 2010, and 3 years before its 20th. There you go, see that? Oh, yes, before we sign off, you folks should probably know there was a sneak peek of this film in addition to Disney Sing-Along-Songs Circle of Life, which was before the program started. But there was also another Disney Sing-Along-Songs program about this film just 1 year later. And actually in the same year as this film. But then, of course, during Roy Edwards' Disney to introduction of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and the 1994 Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs video cassette, Roy Disney gave us a sneak peek of Pocahontas right there too. Well, it was in the development of that time. Well, that's it. That's the end of this episode. So I will see you folks on the couple next ones.